Hello there. It's been a month. I've been really busy. All will unfold as the episode goes on. One thing to note, my hair is growing and I might look like a little bit like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. But I can clip it up a bit. Just ignore the hair. We always do anyway, don't we? Alright then. So, I am in the corner of my bedroom in the rented house. I do have a set of keys, but I'll tell you all about that towards the end. I am sat on the floor, and I thought I'd show you. I'm sat on a little crocheted cushion. My mother-in-law made this for me for Christmas, and it's just an acrylic. She doesn't use a pattern. She can't crochet a pattern. She probably could, you know, she knows all the stitches, but she doesn't like crocheting to pattern. So she's made this design herself based on pictures. She's been inspired by pictures online. So she has one of these in her caravan, and I have one here, and it's going back under there. All right then. Now the second thing, can you remember that I painted this picture, and I really enjoyed the process, and I said that I might like to put it onto a t-shirt, and I did. I had it printed on a t-shirt. Now, if you see any muck on it, it's because I was gardening it in it yesterday. Oh, okay. On with the knitting. Actually, crochet. For all intents and purposes, I have finished my granny squared dressing gown. You can't see it. Now, it's not finished because I've got all that to do, all those ends to weave in, and I would like to pick up stitches where my arm goes in. So I'll show you a little bit. Let's see. So it sits like that on my arm. This isn't working, is it? So that's where my arm would sit. So I would like to put knit a 2x2 rib, just so I've got some warmth on my arm. Probably it's very slouchy. Anyway, I'll show you it finished next episode. It's a funny thing where I was piecing it together. Now I'll show you. It's not really pieced together that neatly, so that's showing up. It's a little bit rough, and what it reminded me of was when I was a little girl. My grandma used to knit up garter. They were the rectangles actually. She used up her leftovers and knit them into garter rectangles about that big. And this one time she gave me a pile of them and said, go and stitch them together and make them into a blanket. And that's I was only probably 12, 13, 14 at the time, and it was rough stitching, it really was. And this is what it reminds me of. That's what it reminds me of. So this has been, if you remember, this project was something to do. I wanted to use up the scraps of Shetland wool. So I started this project, and as it transpired, I needed to buy more and more Shetland wool to finish it. And aside from this, that I'm going to use to put those little bit of sleeves on, I have more leftovers now than what I started with. So what I've decided to do with them, I think, is I don't know whether she'll want it, but my daughter is going to university in just over a year's time, and I thought if I maul these with a grey, she could have in a garter a garter, like what my grandma used to do, in a garter stitch and then stitch them together. She's individual as Amy. She might like it as a blanket for university. We'll just have to see. If not, it'll be like a picnic blanket or something like that. Maybe a blanket for in the van. So that's what who knows, you know, where does it end where you buy more wool to use up the ends of your wool? I don't know. I don't like waste. I don't like wasting it. So yes, this is my 100% Shetland cardigan, and I will show you me wearing it next time, because you can't see. You see, there. That's the midpoint where all the squares meet, and it's really difficult to show you how it's attached together. So I'll do that next time when I'm stood up. Somebody in the comments asked me, was I following a pattern? No, I'm not. It's just a general granny square, crochet granny square, 3 stitches per section, and how I've stitched together is really simple, but I don't know. Basically, you put it flat on the floor, and then you lift the corners up and stitch halfway along the corners, halfway along from the edge to the middle, and then stop, and that makes your armhole, and you do the same on the other side. It'll probably be easier to show you next time when it's complete fully and I'm wearing it. Okay, don't get any better at this, do I? So you might remember that I was knitting the Dorothy hat by Claire Walls. I was using up leftovers from my ranunculus sweater, which it used to be my husband's sweater. I took the yarn out, I over dyed it and made it into this dusky pinky browny beigey kind of very light colour, and I had leftovers and I wanted to put them to some good use, so I proceeded to knit on the Dorothy hat, but I lost it, yarn chicken. I didn't have enough to complete the hat, so I pulled it out, and I've made a basic hat with that yarn, and I've mixed it with some mohair, some powder pink mohair, and so I have just got a basic hat now, and I would show you, but I very tentatively have enough hair to pin down this top section, and if I put this on, we really will look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. Yeah, so I have this, and hopefully by the time the autumn comes I will have a little bit of my grey more coming down the side there, and it should be okay. I might look a little bit washed out, but it should be alright. Anyway, I have a new hat, and that's the main thing. Very toasty warm. More hair on here doesn't bother me. I have a cabled bulky lopey hat that I wear in the deep depths of the winter, and it doesn't bother me, so I should be okay with the mohair there. So that is, I think that's the only finished project I have this time. I think that's all I have to say about it. We'll move on to the next one then. We've got ourselves a little bit of a backdrop. We've got ourselves a very carefully curated backdrop going on now. We'll leave it. Okay, so the next one. The next project I have been working on through this past month is the Weekender Light, and this is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. I am knitting it with the Woolly Knit Cone in the colourway Derby Tweed. It's a 4-ply yarn, and it is knitting up like that. Oh, look, very creased, very creased. I haven't actually knit on this for 2 weeks, and I'll tell you why in a minute. You might remember that I am not going to have it as the what do you call that stitch? Reverse stockinette? when you use the back, you don't use the stockinette side, you use the back. I'm not doing it that. And I've also dropped the slip stitch seam down the middle. I am just knitting, and at the moment I am knitting backwards and forwards, knitting and purling. It has, can you see a little bit of a ribbing there? This is at the shoulder now, and I'm just about 2 weeks ago I was just about to cast off. So this is where I am, and this is why I'm liking this, because I sit flat along my wire. I think, although I haven't obviously haven't done it yet, I think I can choose how much to stitch on this neckline. We'll see. I've lost my train of thought. I'm really sorry. It's all going wrong. Yeah, so this is the Weekend Delight. I've done the bottom. I've got a split seam there. It's on the bottom of the body, and this is the front. And next I need to go back and pick up stitches. No, I don't need to pick up stitches. It's already on a cable. And then I'll knit. I'm a little bit worse than normal. Please forgive me. I'll explain in a minute. So I need to knit up the back. This is the Weekend Delight, and I think now I'll tell you the story about why it's only been a fortnight. I'll get uncomfortable. So that I was knitting this right up until the point where we had to travel to Edinburgh airport to take a flight to Rhodes, the Greek island of Rhodes, and we spent a lovely long week there. Now I wanted to take this to knit on. We were flying with Jet2, and I looked on their policies. Knitting needles weren't allowed. Now my needles are wooden and they are interchangeable, and I thought I could probably get away with being able to get it through security to be able to knit on the plane. And at the end, at the last minute, I thought, I don't want security throw my lick of needles in the bin. So I didn't take it in the end. I didn't have any knitting when I was on holiday. I mentioned in the last episode that we really felt like we needed some downtime to just reboot. We are terrible. We can't just sit still. We can't just sit still and enjoy the sun. We have to explore, and we spent the whole week constantly exploring. Aside from, we had some time on a cove, a lovely beach cove, Anthony Quinn Bay. Now, I don't know this film, but they tell me that it was where they filmed The Guns of Navarone. That's where we went. We spent some little time on the beach, which was fab, and the apartment where we stayed in was an apartment or hotel, and that had a pool, so I was swimming a lot. There was one time I was swimming and I was dragonflies and butterflies just all around my head. It was fantastic, really fantastic. So what I'll do is I'll put some snippets of what I saw while I was there, and maybe 2 minutes worth, just some music, just now. it was fab. It was lovely. It was a really nice time. So that we came back, not Saturday gone, Saturday before. And if you're in the UK, you will know that the travel industry is in chaos here, and we did get caught up in that. A 4.5 hour flight took us, well, with waiting around in the hotel, it took us a 24 hour just to get back to the UK. And I also, when I came home, tested positive for COVID. So that's probably why I'm a little bit worse for wear in terms of my thought processes. And so we came back on the Saturday, and we were due to sign for the house on the Monday. And this is the Queen's Jubilee weekend. The Monday came, and I looked in the account to make sure that the money that we had transferred before we went away on holiday was in the account, so we could pay our house deposit and get the keys that day. The money still wasn't in the account, and we were mortified. Like, we don't like being a problem. Oh, in case, I'm assuming that you know, we're buying a bungalow, or we have bought a bungalow, and this is the process that we've gone through this month. And we came back from our holidays, needed to sign for the house 2 days later, and our funds still weren't in our account, so we weren't signing that day. And it was that evening. I fast forward it. This is all leading up to, what's that called? The Billy Sweater by Sari Nordland. And I've been doing this for 5-6 months now. Okay, let me just get my thought processes where I was with my story. The funds weren't in the account Monday night. Okay, so before we got to that point, my husband had tried the Billy Sweater on, and it fit. I will put a photograph on of him wearing this portion of the Billy Sweater. So I was just relieved it fit. It fit where it touched, but it fit. And I thought, well, this has alpaca in, it's cabled, it will relax, it should be okay. And then he came to take it off, and it was a little bit tight. I was pulling it off this bit. And then it dawned on me, you know, when you cast on stitches for, you know, the underarm parts, and you have this loose bit here and this loose bit here until you start knitting, and then it all gathers in and it sorts itself out and it pulls together. My husband needed all of that outstretched in order to take this jumper off. What's that? Oh, it's just a loop. All of it outstretched, and I thought, I've only got 6-7 stitches here. He's going to lose all of that when this all starts gathering up and being knit in. And I settled myself a little while. I thought, no, it'll be all right, it'll be okay. And then we're back to Monday, and that happened on the Monday, and went to sleep. I woke up about midnight, leading into the Tuesday, and I thought, should I look to see if the funds are in, if the money's in the account? And I just thought, oh, I need to try and get some sleep. Couldn't get to some sleep, and instead of stressing about the money for the house deposit to pay to complete the sale, I was stressing about this. I lay there, and I thought, you know, I know what I want to knit. I'm not enjoying this. This has been an absolute thorn in my side. Nothing wrong with the pattern. If you look through all my past episodes, you know it's me, and you know it's my mental sharpness isn't there anymore. And it just, in that moment, I just thought, you know, I am not going to be anything more now than an intermediate knitter. I want my husband to have a jumper that has been knit with love and that I've enjoyed it, and it not so frustrated. This is so full of frustrations, just because of the complexity of it, and beautiful pattern, beautiful jumper, and I really wish you could have it. So anyway, so about 2 o'clock that morning, I thought, oh, I'm just going to get up. I'm just going to get the pattern that I really want to knit, that I know I can cope with. And this is what I started knitting with. So I've still got that. I haven't pulled it out. I'm using the rest of the yarns that I have for that sweater. Oh, I should tell you, drops Nepal, alpaca mix. Let me see, show you the right way. That's the right way, and it's upside down. I am knitting the, what's it called? I'll find it, I'll put it on the screen. I'm knitting this sweater and it's fab. It is absolute, it's right at my level. I'm really enjoying it. I can knit while I'm sat in the living room, while the family's milling around, while my husband's there, while he's watching his TV, and I can meet. I don't have to knit on this. I was having to do it when my family were at school and college and work, and I much better. So it's just a series of knits and pearls. There's a 35 pattern repeat. Oh, and I adore it. I adore it. I adore it. I think it's going to be a lovely, lovely sweater on him. And I quite fancy knit myself one when I'm finished, but with a mohair, just so, we've got the masculine element and the feminine element, because that's what we like. Nothing to do with labels, just it's what we like. All right. Where am I? So I've been knitting on this. A little bit about the house sale. It did go through that Tuesday. The money was in the account on the Tuesday. So we have had the house now for just short of a week. And it is, the electricians are in it. It failed its electrical report. There was elements of the electrics that were dangerous, so that was the first job that we had to do. It is heartbreaking to see all the bricks chipped out. It's a mess in there. We have a month in this house, and we have a month to do as much as we can and then get moved in. So we are not going to be able to move into anywhere near a completed house. So I will be taking you with me starting from tonight. The month starts now. We have got until the 14th of July in this house. So I'm going to do daily vlogs, what we're doing, how we're preparing, how we're moving. I'm going to take you with me because it's going to be chaotic, and you can see how my brain isn't working brilliantly, and I think it's useful to see people living in chaos, people striving, people making do, people coping in not so good situations. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about showing when things don't go right, but being happy. Yeah, positivity in adversity is what I feel about. Right, stop waffling. I still have some projects to show you. So we're nearly at 10 minutes on this section. I'll stop, I'll pull my other project out, and I'll keep going. Okay, so treating myself to a mint tea. I'll put my jumper on because I'm a bit chilly. I know it looks terrible in the neckline. It is what it is. This is the ranunculus Why is it so difficult to say? This is the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose. And I put this one on because this is the yarn I was talking about that I used for the hat with the mohair. And the mohair I will be using for the next project, and that's the leftovers from the Felix that I did in the Plotchy Loki. They're all going into this next project. Pop him up there. I was doing a spot of weaving, wasn't I? Complete novice weaver. My husband made the frame for me. This is leftover DK Shetland from the Folksy Sweater by Melody Hoffman, and I've begun to weave. I think it's fab. Now. I don't yet know what to do with all these. I guess they come round the back, all these ends. I don't enjoy that bit. I'm not bothered. So here it is. So I'm going to cough. I'm going to stop there. This really is a bodge job this time, isn't it? It's worse than usual. So there it is. Now the main part is this. It's undyed Jacobs. I got that from World of Wool. It's a bulky weight, undyed Jacobs, and I think it's fab. I have my eyes set on this for other projects. Oh, now I've got the nail stuck in my sweater. Thank you. Oh dear, yes. What these bits are, they're samples from World of Wool. Let me show you. Now I've forgotten. Oh, sticking in the carpet now. Put it over there. That's it. Okay. How much for them? They're around 25p a sample from World of Wool. And I've just been using these. You might remember that years ago I took up the drop spindle, and because of all of the work I've had done, through illness on the side, it's uncomfortable and my movement isn't as fluid as it used to be. So I didn't really get very far down learning about the fibres. This is lovely because I've been able to choose. Let me see. I've got Corriedale, I've got Merino, I've got Shetland, I have got BFL, and then in here there is more Jacob. I've got Wool-Locks. You can't see them. Could you see that other pack? Probably not. Yeah, these are my samples. And also I've got some sari silk. Oh, I've used the sari silk. I've got cashmere. I've never felt cashmere before. I've got camel. I've got baby camel. Baby alpaca and tussar silk. I haven't used tussar silk before. So it's perfect. I'm able to experience all the fibres or a myriad of different fibres that I haven't been able to because I don't spin anymore. So it's a lovely little project. Like I say, perfect for leftovers. Oh, that's fallen out of somewhere. What's that? Goodness knows. I just put it in there. No, it's not sari silk. Even I know that. Okay, I'm waffling. So that is my wall hanging. It's coming along. All right. One last thing to show you. And it's yes. I'll tell you what. I won't pause it. We'll just rattle the boxes. I've got all my projects in a box ready to move. I actually took these over to the bungalow because I intended filming in the little sunroom that we have there, but we quickly realised that every single surface is covered in so much brick dust that I was not filming in there. I struggle going in that house at the minute without my respirator on. I am so sorry, but it's been a month. It's been a month, and I really wanted to put a podcast out because I've made progress on lots of different things, and there's so much to tell you and catch you up on. I really, really wanted to do it this morning, so forgive the stops and starts, the coughs, the hit the screen. Last bit. I have covered the charity shop lampshade. I didn't get Liberty or Michael Morris, and I really regret it. I love this fabric. I still love this fabric. But this now I feel looks like it belongs in a child's nursery. I don't like it. And I will have to change it. I will have to change it. Do it again. But it's fab. Lovely way of getting a nice lampshade. Right, I'm stopping. I will talk about how I did this when I redo the project, and I'll probably take you along with me as well so you can see. All right, I think we will draw to a close. So I hope you don't mind the daily vlogs. They'll be short. I can't do really long ones, but I would like to do it because so much online. It's either before and after. Look what I've done, and you just don't see the warts and all. So tonight we're going over, and that is when I will show you the house. Be prepared. It has been pulled to bits, and there's rubble everywhere, there's brick dust everywhere, there's holes in every single wall. But we'll start that series off tonight, and it's nice for us as a family to look back, to have those month of vlogs and look back. Yeah, so I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm shattered. I don't know about you. I'm so tired. Thanks ever so much for putting up with me. Yeah, you're used to me by now. Can you see I'm fogging up? Happening again. I'm gonna go. Thanks ever so much for getting to the end of this. It is what it is. You know, I'm not a fan of too much editing, and just thanks for accepting me, warts and all. Until the next time, or tomorrow. See ya. Bye bye.